Alright, welcome back to day number 3 of our boot camp. This is Equity Empire's boot camp. And basically, past 2 days we've been over candlesticks, disciplined. And now today we're doing trends. We're actually going back into the trading charts. And tomorrow we'll probably be doing something again about psychology and all that. Something to get us away from the charts. So, basically, what is a trend? So yeah, here are my candlesticks. And I do have notes over here on we'll be teaching. So what is a trend? Basically, a trend is either up, or a trend can also be down. That's all a trend can be. It's either up or down. Those are your two trends, okay? But how do you identify a trend? The easiest way to identify a trend is if you have something that looks like this. Now, what exactly is this? This is a higher high, lower, no, yeah, higher high, lower high, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low. Basically, all that is here is a higher high, right? Let's say that this was previously, I don't know, let's say this was previous highs, right? So we broke above, we continued up, and then this is the low, right? This is our low right here. So let's see it low. That is the low. So we broke above once again. We made new highs, and does this decide to move back down into this range? No. So this is now a higher slider, higher low. This is your higher low, right? And then once again, like I said, higher high. It's set. Another higher high, because like I said, we take out this area. So you'd want to look for a re-entry somewhere here for your longs. Stop loss would be at the previous low. Take profit would be at least there. Then you'd look for a continuation. But that is what an upwards trend look like. That's what it looks like. That's what an upwards trend will look like. Now, what does a downward trend look like? Downward trend is basically the same thing, just in another direction. That's all it is. So lower low. Oh, there we go. There is a high that's been set. We'll just say that this was the previous lows right here. So I mark that out. We're going to make that white. We'll also make this one white. Alright. And then we have this one right here. See how it continues lower. So this doesn't get broken. If this would get broken into above, then we would be on a trend change, a market structure shift. And I will teach you what that is here in a sec. But this would be your two trends. You have one, an upwards trend. Then you have your downwards trend right here. These are the two different types of trends that you will have in the market. The upward trend and downward trend. What else can you have in the market? Well, you could have something that looks like this. Now, what exactly is this? What is this? This is your consolidation area. Like, this is basically chopping. What do you trade in this? You would only trade if price decides to have a, well, I mean, actually I only did it here. If price decides, and here. Did it here and there. If price decides to have a breakout. Price breaks out, and then you'd wait for a re-entry back into here. So, those are your three things that we're going to be learning. Higher highs, lower highs, and now I'm going to show you what it can look like in the market. I just got to delete all this real quick. Alright, perfect. Okay, so here is the NASDAQ. This is the S&P. This is what I trade every day. This is what I've been trading for the past 2 years. So here, what do we have over here? Let me zoom in on the 1 minute. So this is your 1 minute chart. This was all during Asia session. So this was your opening candle for Asia. This was the opening Asia candle. I'll mark that white. Asia opening. That is your Asia opening candle. That's when Asia session first started, and you would be looking for shorts in this range. Now, I did alert in the Discord yesterday. I did alert, I did take a trade, but the second trade I alerted was right here in Asia. I didn't take this trade. I was going to take it based off a trend change. Not necessarily a trend change, but a external liquidity that got taken out. And I'm going to be teaching that on day 5, but I don't want to get sidetracked because this is, like I said, we got to take baby steps on this. So I'm just going to mark out where I did take my trade. It was right, where was it? This is where I took the trade. It wasn't longs, it was shorts. I'm just going to mark this out. Short position, my take profit was at the lows, right? It's right there. Stop loss was at the high. Okay. So that was a 7.2 RR trade, but should have honestly waited for the re-entry. So what is the trend in here? Well, simply, there is no trend until we broke structure. And that's simply right here. There are two different trends. We have one on the 1 minute. This is on the 1 minute. Keep in mind, this is the 1 minute chart. Price broke below here. So what does this indicate? This indicates it is sellers are starting to come in, and buyers aren't going to be picking this up anymore. So you could look for a trend change. Look at that, downward trend. So what we have here is, if I bring out my, what's it called, path, we break the previous lows. We make a higher high, well, a higher low actually. We break the low one more time, right? Oh, but what does the market do here? Oh, it breaks above, right? Keep in mind though, this is the 1 minute. So price does break above. You could go long here, but then price just decides to consolidate until we tap back into our trend line. And then from there, we start breaking lower and lower. So yes, you could have entered in right here, let price move further. You could have had a stop loss at break even, would have broke even, which is fine, and then you could have found a re-entry somewhere in this range. Now, where was the longs? Well, if we look here, price broke above that 1 minute high. Look at that, broke perfectly. So you could have gone long here, higher high, did have a higher low, so it could have been a confluence for your short still, but you broke higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, until we had a trend change. And basically what that means is whenever we have this trend change, that is called a market structure shift. Basically all it means is that the market is changing into a downtrend or an uptrend. It's not necessarily a break of structure. I mean, you could call it a break of structure if you want, but I'm going to call it a market structure shift. So this is your MSS. So this is the market structure shift. And as you can see, this downtrend you could have played right here, right? You could have played it right here for a lower low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Did break above, but did it respect it though? That's the key word, respect. If we look at that candle, we zoom in, that candle did not hold above that previous wick. If price does not want to do that, price usually will still be on a trend. And look at what happens. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then super lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low. And then it continues after here. You could have technically gone for your long entry if price doesn't see back into this range. You could have gone for longs right here, and those longs would have made some money until your lower low gets swept again. So, but how does this correlate though with what I'm about to teach you? This is the 1 minute chart. Keep in mind, this is your 1 minute chart. What chart mainly is more important? You have your 1 minute time frame, but you also have higher time frames, okay? Over here on my right side, we have the 5 minute chart, okay? I'm going to actually make this the 5 minute on my left actually, and on this side on my right side I'm gonna make the 15. So here we go. And this is why it is important to look at the higher time frames. Because if we go over here on my left chart, price is consolidating until we have a market structure shift, more so a break of structure, because the structure is starting to fall apart, and then it's just short all the way down. Moves up. Does it break the higher high, which is right here, which is, I'll mark that out actually, which is at this 5 minute previous high? No. So what does price want to do? It will move lower. And like I said, we are taking baby steps on this, and you guys might be like, oh, why are we doing this? It's simply just so that you guys can understand how markets actually move in a trend. This is a trend episode only. If we go to the 15-minute on my right, we have, like I said, consolidation. It broke out above 3, what is that? That is above 320. It broke above that. But did price respect that? No, because price started to consolidate, and we had a, remember how I taught you guys on the first episode, candlesticks? That is a hammer candle. Now what happened? Price decided to move down. We had a, on the 15-minute, breakout structure right here. And price decides to move lower until we hit my buy zone. And that I will teach you guys about different zones and how this is more so of an order block, but I'm not going to sidetrack like I said. We're sticking to trends today. So this is why it's also important to look at the higher time frame to get more so of a confluence. Because if I go to the 4 hour, right? Each candle on my left side is going to be worth 4 hours, right? If you look at this, this is super bullish, right? Right here, this is the area when Trump got elected, right? Very bullish, more so of a leg up. Okay. Even back here, you have your, bring up my path. You have a higher high, lower high, higher high. Breaks below, you could have gone for shorts. Did it respect though? It didn't. Those are wicks. I always trade off based off the body. So if the body closes above, you're still fine. Lower low though, so that would have been a confirmation for short. Could have gone shorts. Would have made money. Oh, look at that. Market structure shift, and what do? We consolidate until we start breaking lower, until we break higher, and this is during the election, and then we kept on going up. I'm going to show you a very, very good example on the 15-minute real quick of how trends mainly work. Let me go here. This is all. I have to skip the election week because election week was very, very bad price action. Let's go all the way back here. This is perfect right here. This is a perfect area to be looking at for longs. So here. When did the trend start? We have to find when the trend starts coming in. So over in this area, this is when I went long. So you go long here when price breaks above, higher, lower high, still could be short confirmation until price wants to break above. It does so. You go long, higher, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, starts breaking apart until you keep on pushing up. But this is also just consolidation right here. And then you have continuation into the upside. Another easier way to identify a trend is simple. You literally take on your left side of the chart, there's something called a trend line, and you just take it. I can mark it out on my chart, and I could see where prices probably going to go. This is on the 15-minute, so right here. If I take my trend line and move it right here. So what does price do? It taps it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and it keeps on moving up. Now, this is why it is very important to look at the higher time frames, because sure, you know, on the 1 minute, you're looking at small reversals. You'll be like, ooh, trend's going to change. Like right here. Let me show you. Right here. This is a perfect example. You're like, oh my god, trend's going to change, right? Let me move this all the way up to where it's currently at. It's all the way up here. Move it over. So yeah, here. This is a perfect example. So here, on the 1 minute, right? Now this is actually the 5 minute. This is a good example, yeah. 5 minute, lower time frame. Price breaks below, and you're going to think to yourself, wow, perfect area. I'm going to decide, I'm going to short this position all the way to the next lower low, right? I'm going to short it all the way down to here. My stop loss will be that previous high, the volume profile. But as soon as you enter, you're going to see drawdown, right? If we look at our 15-minute on the right side, over here, look at what price has been doing. Higher, 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 higher. Oh wait, I messed that up. Oh shit. Higher. Um, yeah, even higher. So this is why it's also very important to look at your higher time frames and find out a confluence on what price wants to do. So like momentum, right? So like when you're playing basketball and you shoot, right? And you score. Basketball has momentum in air. It's like rolling a ball on concrete that's flat and you push it. Let's just say Newton's third law of motion, right? That basketball won't stop. So we look at the market. Oh, look at it. It's not gonna stop until we have some sort of trend change, right? I've been telling people on the Discord, if you aren't in it, you should join it. But I've been telling people on the Discord that keep on thinking Bitcoin, Ethereum, Nasdaq, it's going to keep on going through the roof, right? But I keep on telling them, look, if we have some sort of trend change or a CRT, which is candle range theory, basically, price is going to want to start sweeping. It's going to want to go lower because price moves up and down in the market. It doesn't always move up all the time. So that is one thing to keep in mind. And I did tell people this week my bias is going to be bearish because last week, election week, Trump brought the market all the way up, but what goes up has to come down at some point. So that is going to wrap it up for today. Today's homework for you guys is basically to take notes on this. It's very important. Like I said, tomorrow we won't be going into a trading video. We'll be doing psychology, mentally, and also it's probably going to be a check-in video to make sure that you guys are understanding how stuff works. And I recommend you guys also, like I said, we gotta take baby steps. One foot in front of the other. I can't get straight into fair value gaps. I can't get straight into IFEGs. I can't get into CRT. I can't get into SMCIs or SMCs. I can't get into any of that stuff yet. Because like I said, this is going to be a process. Trust me, and I'll trust you. And that will be it.